When you look back at the film of the game the other night, what jumped out at you that maybe you hadn't noticed from your spot on the sideline?
Good question. I know what jumped out at me during the game and in the film was that we really played together and really shared the ball, and the ball moved and it didn't stick, and that's kind of square one offensively. And I thought we played really hard, but I guess on the negative side, it always this way. You watch the film and then you start critiquing from, were we in the right place here? Were we in the right place there? Did we read this? Did we read that? So, it's early in the season, and so the things that you would expect to break down would break down at times. But I don't know if there was any really big surprises. I was just really pleased with the effort.
How much did the perimeter scoring of Keith and Shake help Nick kind of facilitate the team a little better?
Well, if you're a point guard and you have shooters on your wings and you've got guys inside that can score, then your table is pretty well set. And so potentially we have a number of guys that can shoot the ball on the perimeter. We're a better perimeter shooting team, I think, than we were last year. And from a point guard standpoint, that's always fun. So, it takes some pressure off of Nick to score. Some nights I'm sure that he will more than others, but he's always going to try to get the other guys involved first, and if they're doing well, then that's probably better for us.
How is the defense adjusting without guys like Cannon and Yannick patrolling the paint?
Yeah, we're not we became a great defensive team last year, and three of the big reasons why that is are gone. Yannick, to me, was as good a defensive big man as there is in the country, and that's why I think before it's all said and done, he'll end up in the NBA. I really do, because he's so bright defensively. He's so engaged. He's on every screen. He reads it. He's got great feel. Cannon was really the same way. Cannon had a very high IQ, was athletic. And Ryan, how many guards in America were better defensively? We just put Ryan on the best offensive guard every single game. And so from a defensive standpoint, we're not near where we were last year, but it is a process, and hopefully, our guys are now getting a little bit different responsibilities and more emphasis on certain things that they need to do now. Hopefully we'll continue to get better, but we're not the same defensive team that we were last year when we ended the season, for sure.
Did you see any progress in that opening game compared to the two scrimmages?
Yes. But we also didn't play as many minutes of man just because of foul trouble, so it was a little hard to judge. We had played man, I think, the whole time. I don't know, I can't remember if we zoned. Don't remember the scrimmages that well, but I think if we did zone, it wasn't very much at all. So, I thought our zone helped us. It wasn't perfect. Our energy was very good, but when all is said and done, we need to be a very, very good, solid man-to-man defensive team that can keep from fouling under the new rules.
When you have such an advantage in talent and athleticism as you had in the opener, is it hard to evaluate the progress you're making as you get ready for Stanford?
Well, yes, but also more so because we played so much zone, honestly. But you can still see whether everybody's aware of the ball and their position defensively and how you handle every screen. You could still see all those things, but sometimes you can get we blocked some shots that covered up mistakes a number of times, and so it looked good and felt good, but against bigger, more athletic teams that you're not going to be able to cover up all those mistakes. So those are some of the concerns that we have right now.
Stanford lost two pretty solid guards before the season. What are you expecting out of the team, even with those losses?
You know what? You never want to wish, illness or injury on the other team. But when we heard about some of that, your first thought is, boy, that'll really hurt them, and I'm sure it does. But darn, they've done a really good job of patching it all. They're good. They've got a lot of the ingredients we talked about before. They've got a lot of guys who can shoot. They've got a 3-4 man that can play either position. He's really a talent. They're big. They're really big. They play zone. They play man. They're really solid. They're way further along. I think they went on a trip to Italy or something, and it shows. They're pretty far along. They don't look like a team just getting out of the gate.
How is it different preparing for a road game compared to one at home?
Not much different, honestly. No, I think really from a practice standpoint, I don't think it's any different. We already did go to Colorado to scrimmage, so we've all, the guys, especially the new guys, have felt what the rhythm of a road trip is like, just so they get a feel for it. But no different. I've never been able to figure out why it is always such an advantage to play at home. I mean, I know that if you're playing in front of an incredible crowd, obviously there's a lot of energy that is, the home team's the benefactor, but there's got to be something else, and I don't know what it is, but we all know it. All coaches know it, that it's tougher to win on the road, and that's why road wins a lot of times feel so much more satisfying.
You mentioned the other night after the game, Bearfield had been sick, and Shake said he's been feeling a little under the weather. How are they?
It's running through the group. We've got we really hoping this week was going to be a great week of practice, and we had 3 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before we play, and yesterday we had several guys out and kind of just trying to get a little bit of a sweat. Today we'll see. I think we'll have several guys part-time, but I do think by game time they'll be fine. But was really hoping they would get full reps so that we can really start building on the things that we feel like we need to get better at.
Well, what about how did you critique yourself running a game instead of advising Larry?
That's a great question. The game went well. Your biggest hope going into the game is everything just goes well. I should say that foul trouble right away. Things weren't going well because we're getting fouls and our front line is in foul trouble. But truth be told, the guys, they were playing so well that it wasn't that hard for me. But I was very comfortable. It's been 3 years since I was a head coach, and I was wondering if it would feel like it's been 30 years or 3 minutes. And honestly, it felt like I'd coached last year. I mean, it really wasn't that different. But big challenges to come. A lot of really good teams on our schedule coming right up, including Thursday. So we'll have to get ready for all that.